Hi, this is Carrie Schell from On Point Quilter. In today's video, we're going to work with Applique in Electric Quilt. I will also share with you how I used the Wreathmaker tool to make these Shamrock blocks. I'm going to start by doing a block, new block, and I'm going to do a patch draw block. And I'm going to go to the Applique tab. Now, the settings I'm going to change. I'm going to go into more drawing board options. And I'm going to, first of all, go to the graph paper and turn off the button to show the graph paper. Then I'm going to go ahead and go to the patch draw options, and under the snapping options, the only thing I want checked is snap to node of drawing. And then under the join and fill options, I want to auto join when drawing. Okay, I'm going to start with the freehand tool, and I'm just going to draw a basic shamrock shape here. Actually, I lost my freehand tool, so I'll just keep going there. Okay, now I'm going to go to the shape tool and I'm going to clean that up. So the first thing is I'm going to make some of those nodes smooth. And I'm going to make that one smooth as well. And again, you can either click and get to the edit button, or you can use the tools up above. For this one here, I'm going to, I'll just show you with the edit button. I'm going to try the symmetry on that just to make that work. So once I've got one of my shapes of my shamrock, I'm going to select it with the pick tool, and I'm going to go ahead and clone it. And to rotate it, with my control key, I'm going to click on the center of the patch. And notice that arrows appear on the outside, and that allows me to take one of those arrows and move it. Now the beauty is if I want to actually move the space, I can just click on the inside and move it in place. So once I have that one done, I can do a Control C, Control V. Again, another clone, and rotate. And move that in place. Now I can use the shape tool. And for this one, I'm just going to pick an end node and I'm just going to move it, and it will connect up with the next shape. So let me do some zooming in here because I don't like that little hole that's there, so I can solve that by just using the handles to put those together. So again, I'm going to move this and it's going to connect up. Okay. So now I can take those ends and move them a little bit closer together, and I'm going to go ahead and fit to work table. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and use the pick tool and select all of them, move them a little bit in there, and now I'm going to use the line tool, and I'll zoom in so you can see what I'm doing, and I'm going to just draw some straight lines to create the stem. Now I can easily turn those into curves by selecting the line, and if I select the convert line to curve, notice that handles appear, and those handles allow me to make that into a curve. So I'm going to do that with both of those, and I can again select, I'm going to zoom in a little bit more down there. Select that last one, turn that to a curve as well. And it just makes it a little bit gentler to work with. Okay, so now I'm going to fit to work table. I've got my shamrock done. I am going to go ahead and add it to the sketchbook, but I'm also thinking, what am I going to do with that shamrock? So I thought I would use it as an opportunity to play with Wreathmaker. So next thing I'm going to do is take my shamrock, use the control, select the center, and I'm going to change it so that it is a little more vertical. And then I'm going to right click, I'm going to select the Wreathmaker tool, and I'm going to select 6 clusters. I think I'm going to need a little bit of spacing, but I'm going to bring the size down because I don't want any of these to overlap. Now, when I look at this, I have to decide, is that sort of the general spacing I want? I do think I now want them just a little bit closer together. So I'm going to go ahead and do a Control Z, right click, take the Wreathmaker again. Now the beauty is it saved all my last settings. So I'm going to go ahead and make my cluster spacing a little bit closer and not change anything else. Now I'm liking that better, but now I'm a little bit too close. So I'm going to do another Control Z, right click, Wreathmaker, and on the cluster spacing, I'm going to move that a little bit, and I will do an OK on that. Now what I can do is also select all of these and go ahead and right click and resize. Now I want to do the horizontal and vertical in the same proportion, so I'm going to try 175% for the horizontal, tab over, and do 175 for the vertical as well. Oh, and I'm still probably not big enough. I'm going to try 150% for both the horizontal and vertical. Okay. And I like that. I think that fills the space nicely. Now I need to figure out what I'm going to do with the center here. And what I decided was if I went and on the little flyout by the oval tool, I can get to the heart. And I'm just going to draw a very simple heart. Notice it looks a little bit like a shamrock. And now I'm going to take that and I'm going to right click, use the Wreathmaker tool, do 6, and for the cluster spacing, I'm going to bring it all the way down. Let me zoom in and see if I like that or not. Actually, I think that looks pretty good. So I'm going to now right click, resize, and I think I'm going to go with 200%. And again, you know, I find that I will put a number in. If I don't like it, I'll do a Control Z to back out, and then I'll go and try something else. So, oh, that's too big. So again, Control Z, resize. I tried 200%. Now I'm going to go ahead and try 150% and do OK. And I think I like that, so I'm going to go ahead and center that, and now I can go and color my block. And once I've colored my block, I can go ahead and add it to the sketchbook. Thanks so much for watching. For additional tips and techniques, please subscribe to my weekly newsletter at www.onpointquilter.com.